Summary Book. The Hard Thing About Hard Things by Ben Horowitz. The Hard Thing About Hard Things is a candid, insightful book by Ben Horowitz, a successful entrepreneur and venture capitalist, in which he shares his experiences, lessons, and hard-won wisdom about building and leading a company through the toughest of times. Horowitz doesn't sugarcoat the struggles and uncertainties that come with building a business, and he offers advice on how to tackle difficult decisions, manage crises, and develop leadership skills when answers are not obvious. The book is divided into several key themes and lessons that are drawn from Horowitz's own journey as a co-founder of LoudCloud, later known as Opsware, and his experiences in Silicon Valley. Introduction: The challenge of starting a business. Horowitz begins by acknowledging that entrepreneurship and leadership are inherently difficult, particularly in the tech industry, where the pace of change is fast, competition is fierce, and the stakes are high. Unlike other business books that offer easy solutions or step-by-step guides, The Hard Thing About Hard Things provides a realistic and gritty look at what it's really like to build a business from the ground up. He makes it clear that there is no simple formula for success. Most entrepreneurs will face obstacles that cannot be easily solved by textbooks or common advice. Instead, Horowitz emphasizes that resilience, grit, and the ability to make tough decisions are the keys to surviving and thriving. Lesson 1: The Struggle. The book opens with an honest look at the struggle, a period of intense emotional, mental, and financial hardship that every entrepreneur will experience at some point. This struggle is inevitable, and while it may seem unbearable, Horowitz explains that it is actually an essential part of the entrepreneurial journey. In fact, learning how to deal with the struggle and push through it is a critical skill that separates successful founders from those who give up. Emotional toll of leadership. Horowitz reveals how difficult and isolating it can be to run a company, especially when things go wrong. He recounts personal stories of moments when he faced near bankruptcy, personal doubts, and a sense of helplessness, highlighting how entrepreneurs must develop the mental toughness to handle these challenges. Learning to embrace uncertainty. There are no guarantees in business, and founders must be prepared to face an unpredictable future. Horowitz discusses how he learned to navigate uncertainty and make critical decisions without clear answers. Lesson 2: The CEO's Role. Horowitz delves deeply into the role of a CEO and what it truly means to be in charge. Many entrepreneurs focus on building a product or managing day-to-day operations, but the CEO's primary responsibility is leadership, specifically, ensuring that the company has the right people in the right roles, managing crises effectively, and setting the tone for the company's culture. Leadership under pressure. As a CEO, you will face moments when difficult decisions need to be made, from firing friends to navigating financial crises. Horowitz gives advice on how to make these decisions with empathy, even if the situation is painful. Building and managing teams. Horowitz stresses that no one can succeed in business alone. CEOs must learn how to hire the right people, manage talent, and inspire their teams to work through hard times. He shares insights on how to create a company culture that fosters innovation and collaboration, even when times are tough. Lesson 3: Making Tough Decisions. One of the book's key themes is the importance of making tough decisions when leading a business. As Horowitz explains, leaders must make decisions that may not always have clear solutions or may lead to significant sacrifices. These include layoffs, firing executives, changing business models, and pivoting strategies. Facing unpopular decisions. Horowitz discusses the difficult task of making decisions that are unpopular but necessary for the company's survival, such as laying off employees or scaling back operations. He emphasizes that CEOs must take ownership of these decisions and explain them clearly to the team. Understanding the consequences of decisions. Every decision in a startup has long-term consequences, and understanding those potential outcomes is crucial. Horowitz reflects on his experiences with tough decisions, such as closing down parts of his company or deciding to sell a business when it was not the ideal outcome. Lesson 4: Scaling and Growing a Company. Scaling a company is another challenge Horowitz addresses in the book. He emphasizes that growth often brings a host of new problems that most entrepreneurs aren't prepared for. The infrastructure, culture, and management style that worked for a small company often do not scale as the business grows. Changing the way you operate. As companies grow, leaders must change how they operate. This may include shifting from a founder-led, hands-on approach to a more structured, delegation-based management style. Horowitz shares how he dealt with the growing pains of scaling, such as transitioning from a small startup culture to one that could handle hundreds of employees. Hiring the right leaders. As the company grows, the founder must focus on building a leadership team that can manage different aspects of the business. This requires hiring and empowering strong executives who can take responsibility for specific areas of the business. Lesson 5. The importance of company culture. Horowitz stresses that company culture is one of the most important, and often neglected, elements of building a successful business. The culture of a company defines how employees interact, how problems are solved, and how resilient the team is in the face of adversity. Building a strong culture. Horowitz talks about how he worked to define and maintain the culture at Opsware, even as the company grew rapidly. He emphasizes that culture must be actively cultivated and not left to chance. Cultural alignment. A strong culture can help a company survive difficult times. Horowitz argues that, during challenging moments, companies with a well-defined culture can rally around shared values and a common mission. Lesson 6. Managing crises. The book also focuses on how to handle crises, which are inevitable in any business. Whether it's a product failure, a public relations disaster, or a financial setback, Horowitz explains how to manage these crises with clarity and decisiveness. Facing the worst-case scenarios, Horowitz recounts moments when his company faced life-threatening crises, such as near bankruptcy or critical product failures. He gives advice on how to handle these moments, stay calm under pressure, and keep the company on track. Transparency and communication. He advises leaders to be transparent with their teams during crises, explaining the situation clearly and outlining the steps needed to recover. Lesson 7. The importance of mental toughness. Throughout the book, Horowitz emphasizes the importance of mental toughness and emotional resilience. He argues that being a leader is not just about intellect or strategy but about having the emotional fortitude to handle the pressure and the mental stamina to persevere. Staying focused on the long-term vision. In the face of adversity, it's easy to lose sight of the bigger picture. Horowitz stresses the importance of staying focused on the long-term goals and making decisions that align with those objectives, even if they are difficult in the short term. Self-care. He also highlights the importance of taking care of oneself mentally and emotionally, as being a leader can be an exhausting and isolating experience. Conclusion. Embrace the difficulty. In conclusion, Horowitz argues that building and running a business is inherently difficult. There is no magic formula for success, and the journey is often filled with tough decisions and moments of doubt. However, the key to success lies in embracing these difficulties and learning from them. Horowitz urges readers to build their leadership muscles, embrace the struggle, and develop the resilience needed to survive and thrive.